And there we go. Okay, good morning, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another Toonkind at 12 FPS in the EGAD server. My name is Dew, or Dewpoint. I'm a noisy machine, noisy creature that makes lots of hoo-ha haze, most of the time. And today I'll be playing Elisabeth Trep, who has been very lost in the rainforest for quite a while. Oh, give me just a minute.
Oop. Well, it looks like you're stuck with me during the time being. Ha ha ha! Ha!
Sorry about that.
Oh,
I had
okay.
someone come in the room.
It's okay. It's fine.
It's fine. Great intro, everyone. Anyway, I should probably introduce the other person was going to introduce themselves.
Yes.
Poke at you.
Yes. Don't poke the bear.
Poke with a stick.
Hi. Hello. I am Vegan Bear, and in today's FPS is going to be the premiere of Alith Duck, who has gotten herself lost within the rainforest on purpose.
Sometimes you get lost on purpose.
Yes.
The benefit of mankind. I guess if you're getting lost on purpose, you should probably roll survival.
Okay, I will roll survival if I can remember. If I can roll, Yep, there we go, 7. Oops.
Oh, Speedy. Oh, Speedy. I don't know whatever track it was you were keeping an eye on. You're not too certain exactly what direction it is anymore. You have a reason. You think it's that way. You're pretty sure it's that way.
Should be
I
that
don't
way.
know how well she knows her compass directions.
Ah! That is actually a genuinely good question. On the one hand, I want to say that she's had enough experience to be able to find herself again. On the other hand, I think it's much funnier if, like, as an adventurer, she never learned it. She just
Go with
gets
the
lost.
funny. Go with the funny.
I'm gonna go with
When-
more funny, and she's just kind of like looking around herself, like, okay, that way was north. No, wait, no, that way it was west. That way was south. No, 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 no. Oh, bother! I'm getting everything confused. Also, please do
Also-
expect fluctuating voices.
That's fine. She's got maybe she has like a case of voice actors adjustment.
Yeah, she just changes voice actors every sentence.
God, me, I have flashbacks to Eeny Money Mo. Yeah. Well, that's like.
Oh no. Anyway, continuing.
Yes. So. Oh, congratulations! You're definitely probably not lost in the rainforest.
On purpose, I got myself lost on purpose. That's what I'm
Lost
going
on
with.
purpose.
Yes.
Going with definitely, absolutely, 100%.
On purpose.
Did you want to roll me?
What did I... Could you repeat?
I think we spoke over each other. Is what happened.
Yes, we did.
Would you like to roll a perception?
I will absolutely roll a perception.
I'm gonna roll this.
Three. Little baby is absolutely losing her focus.
7 and only 7. I need to adjust this, but you know what? I'm just gonna what I've rolled there. Easier. Okay. Cool. Okay. That is a 3.
That is a 3.
That's a 3. Cool. Yeah, no, you're so definitely not lost. You just started to walk off the path because that's where adventure usually is. You don't stick to the path to have an adventure. So you're going through the brush and the bracken. You're probably trying to make sure you don't trip over any vines. You're looking around. You see like a cool bug or some such. At this point, I'm gonna have to ask you to make me a dex save.
Oh no! Okay. You know what? Alith, sweetie, baby. 10. No, baby!
think that's pretty average. I would say, yeah, no, average, especially with your perception. Um, probably, you probably definitely don't see like, you probably don't see as you come out of the next bush you've scrabbled through, that the bush actually just kind of juts out over a little verge. Um, you kind of just teeter totter on one foot backwards over and over, and then you just ever so slightly tip over.
Oh
Um,
no!
you have got a 10, so you're not taking any damage. But you do kind of like tumble head first over yourself down this verge with an oof and a ah and a poof down into the bushes below.
Oh no!
Yeah.
She's just
Congratulations, you've fallen down a verge.
she's just kind of like sputtering a little bit as she's trying to like regain her stuff because she has like her backpack and stuff like that, and she's just like trying to regain all of the stuff that's fallen out.
Oof.
Oh no!
Um, I'd say as you do, you um, probably do hear the sound of something, um, coming from above you.
Oh no! What's above me?
You're gonna have to roll another perception. Because you rolled poorly. Give you another chance. Even though you know, okay, this makes sense because you are picking up your stuff. You probably just look up as you hear like a kind of screech noise, and something dives and just claps over your face.
Oh no! First reaction: grab my cane and try and smack it.
Did you roll a hit?
Listen, you don't scream at me and not expect me to react.
It's fair. That is completely valid.
What would a cane count as?
Quarter staff. I would put
Okay,
it as. Unless you
okay,
want to put it as something else.
okay. I'll keep it as quarterstaff.
Okay.
Give me a quick second.
Take your time.
Awesome. There we go.
Right.
So, unfortunately for you, she apparently has uh proficiency in it. So, nat 20.
Oh my god. I would say you know where her strengths lay, and it's not in the thinking, it's in the doing.
Yeah,
She does very well.
seems fitting for her. For who she's inspired by.
Um,
Okay, should I roll damage or?
yes, you're definitely going to roll damage because with a nat 20, not only do you hit this thing, you avoid hitting yourself because this thing is clutched to your face. And
Oh!
you very accidentally swipe this thing aside.
Oh, I did not realize it was attached to me. Wow. Okay. So
Face! It fell on top and clanged to your face.
okay. So apparently it fell on my face. I grabbed my staff and I just bonk it so well. It just I don't hurt myself. Wow. Okay.
You're just
2 damage though.
well, that's double damage because you got a nat 20, so
Right.
that's 4
So
damage.
4 damage. Cool.
Yes. Yeah. So you whack this thing, the shriek, into a nearby tree where it just kind of smacks and slides down with a kind of noise. What languages does your character speak?
Um. It knows Grolix, Dwarvish, Draconic, and Common.
Oh, okay.
Little fun
That's
fact
cool.
for you.
Yeah, that's a very good fact for me because as this thing goes sliding down, you do hear it, you do understand it hissing something like, "Foolish idiot, stupid moron, stupid whacking me! How dare you, sir?" In Draconic. Whatever this thing is, kind of thumps onto the floor in front of you and kind of wriggles, trying to upright itself with a hiss. Very disgruntled.
Alith is just kind of coming slowly closer to it. Like, she wants to have a better look at what this thing is, because why the heck is it speaking Draconic?
Well, as you look at it, you can see why it's speaking Draconic, because it is, in fact, a small drake. Probably, the body probably is just about as wide as your palm, and the wings are probably from your wrist to your forearm. It's not very big, it's tiny, but it looks up at you with dull coppery scales, and it bares its fangs and hisses, and tries to kind of flap itself upwards, all the while muttering, "Stupid mistress can't even find proper assistance, and why am I being summoned by such poor, helpless, foolish human mortals?"
I want you to know that, like, no matter what this little dragon tries to do, Alith is just standing above it with stars in her eyes. And she doesn't, like, stop it or anything. She's just, like, watching.
This thing, you do notice also, I should have said before, this thing doesn't look like a toon.
Oh.
It looks very real kind.
That adds even more glitter to her eyes.
I'm gonna do a quick insight for this thing. Can it tell? What is its insight anyway?
She's just kind of like observing it, and she's just like, "Oh my gosh, it's a real dragon!"
Oh my gosh, so that is 8 plus. So that is a 13. This thing kind of muttering and glaring at you, but as it glares at you, it tilts its head to the side, and you see a crown of thrills that was on the back of its neck slowly start to lift up and twitch a little as it looks at you, and it's just, "This mortal looks. Why are you looking at me like that?" And it kind of shuffles a little.
And she, just back at Draconic, is just like, sorry. I didn't mean to. It's just I've never really seen a real dragon.
As you speak in Draconic, its frills kind of flip upwards, and it stands on its back legs. Its wings fly out. All the models for me to find, and it's one that actually speaks proper tongue.
Oh yeah, I've been studying it in my free time.
Well, for whatever reason, this is fortuitous. You must follow me. And,
Are you taking me on a quest?
Yes, sure. A quest, yes. Come along. And it just starts to flap a couple of hurried little flaps off the ground until it's airborne, does a little circle around you, and then zooms off into the woods.
And instantly, Allith is just, like, chasing after it. Like, wait! I can't go that fast!
It is not slowing down.
She is running as fast as she can to the best of her ability.
Now, I don't know if I want to ask you to roll either a perception or a survival again, see if you can track this thing. Do we want to risk that?
I'm gonna go with rule of funny. And roll.
We'll say either way, you will get an advantage on this.
Okay, so which one are we going with? What were the two options?
Up to you. Up to you. Would she be trying to keep track of where it's going, or would she be using all of her, like, with her eyes, or would she be using her other senses to keep a track of it? It's perception or survival. It's up to you.
Both of them have the same exact modifier, so...
Roll away. It matters not.
Nat 20!
I love her so much already. Oh, also pronouns. Is it her or did you say it?
Towards Allith, it's her. She, her.
Alith. Right, cool.
I'm sorry.
Right, okay.
I was referring to the dragon as it. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. At least I know. Okay, yeah, no. Alith, that's a nat 20. I think the joy of finding something very new, and adventurous, is calling to her. Also,
Yes.
it is a real kind creature in a Toonkind land. It doesn't have an outline, and that kind of sticks out in this place with thickly outlined rainforest and kooky, kooky nature around. It sticks out like a sore thumb. Yeah, you track this thing. You don't go very far. It's like a minute or two before this thing kind of ducks out from where it was swooping above in the canopy, flutters down to a gap between the trees. And as you come through this gap, you see there is someone lying on the ground.
There's a. Could you repeat what was lying on the ground?
The person.
Oh no, a
shaped
person!
Mm-hmm.
Allith is. Quite rather frankly, I want to say that she's so caught up within the thrill of chasing this real kind dragon that she first trips over the shape. I'm sorry. And then
That's good. I love
she
it.
looks over and she's like, "Oh my gosh! I just ran over a person. Oh no!" She is instantly like standing up and trying to brush them off like, "I'm so sorry. Are you okay?"
Firstly, if you want, you can roll me medicine. As you trip over this person, they're covered in a cloak, and there seems to be a long stick next to them. But you do hear them just kind of groan as you trip over them, and you hear from
9 for medicine.
Hear the-
Oh no.
they're lying down, and they did make a noise, but they're lying down. They didn't really move a lot from when you hit them. Did you kill? You don't know how bad off they are, but they don't look too great.
Oh no.
Maybe they're just asleep though, who knows? Maybe they're just sleeping really deep.
Okay. So Alith is just kind of like looking down and at this person like, "Oh no, they're okay. I hope they're okay. I hope they're sleeping. Where's the dragon?"
The dragon is. This person is actually at the base of a tree, and the dragon is clinging about a few foot up from where this person is laying, and you hear them kind of muttering, "Stupid, worthless, elderly, mortal woman, wake up! I can't believe I'm being summoned by something like this." And it's just lots of hissing, rolling insults. As this drake glares down at the woman, who I will say in your medicine check you do notice is quite old. And yeah, no, this is an old woman laying at the base of a tree.
Okay, so Alith is going to assume that the dragon and the lady are related, and she's just going to like pop down, and she's gonna give them like a soft little shake on the back, like, "Are you okay? I hope you're okay. I'm sorry for tripping over you."
With the shake, you get another groan. I'm all. I'll be fine. And you see a very shaky, glove-covered hand, trembling, reach out for the very long stick, which you now realise is some kind of carved staff. They shakily pull it towards them, and they seem to try and push themselves up to prop themselves back against the tree. And let me see how well that goes.
I want Alice to help them.
Okay, cool. That just means they get
Advantage.
one roll
Yeah. Or one roll.
then. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. They get a nat 20 on a strength save.
It's perfect.
It seems like they're struggling, so you kind of reach out and like hold their elbow or a part of them, and then all of a sudden they seem to gain some sort of new life and strength as they heave themselves up. Not only pushing themselves upright, but they're pushing themselves to their feet by pushing, like bending their legs and pushing their back against the tree as they push themselves up. But you can see as they do that, this old woman who has dark brown hair in like a greasy bun with two loops of hair going around her ears. Like tanned skin. Her cloak is dirty. The tunic and pants and boots underneath are also pretty dirt ridden. She's sweating and a little flushed face.
Oh no!
She kind of stands up and blinks and then looks down at you and she sways a little against the tree. She says, I'm terribly sorry. I may require your assistance.
Oh, that's okay, that's okay, that's okay. What do you need my assistance with?
The old woman goes to open her mouth, and the little drake atop interrupts by dropping down onto their shoulder, or this woman's shoulder, and saying, "My idiot mortal mistress has gotten themselves sick," and kind of glares out the corner of their eye at the woman. "We are in need of an escort to a place known as." Kind of looks again at the woman. "I don't suppose you know of a place called EGAD?"
And towards that, I'm going to very quickly possibly make a history check, because it feels like something she would definitely have heard of.
Alith, please.
Forward.
Please, darling.
Oh. Yep. I mixed the two up. Hold on.
Good.
14. I want to say that it takes her about a second before she pipes up. Yeah, I've heard of that place.
That's very good. I don't suppose you know where it is exactly, do you?
Well, I've heard of it. I myself haven't actually been there. But I heard there's a lot of good adventures. That's sadly all I can tell you about it.
What's your passive insight?
Okay, so how would I calculate passive insight, or
That's a good question. I think it's
is it like 10 plus insight?
yeah, it's 10 plus your modifier.
Then it's just
If it's
10.
not, we just go with it for this.
Then it's just 10.
It beats it.
Oh no.
Should a whole night in the deception. As you say, you've heard of it. You see, her face kind of falls just a fraction. But she does. She's trying to keep trying to keep a grin on her face as she says, "Well, that's very good, dear. Oh, I should probably introduce myself." She kind of coughs quite heavily into her fist. "My name is Elisabeth Trepp, dear. I would shake your hand, but I am afraid I don't know if I'm contagious at the moment, so
Oh
it's a
no.
pleasure."
Oh. Alith Duck, at your service.
Well, I should hope you are. I should hope you are of well. It's a pleasure to meet you, whether you are of service or not. And this woman can see her shift and grasp her staff and go forwards to lean on it a bit heavier. She takes her weight off of the tree, and then kind of looks around, blinking a bit blearily, and says, I don't suppose you've seen a bag or a satchel anywhere, have you?"
Only my own. I could try and help you find it.
You get a very sweaty smile and a nod, and a huff from the drake on her shoulder, as she says, "Yes, that would be greatly appreciated, Alith. Thank you." And I'm gonna roll one of these. Ooh. Cool. Okay. Um.
Oh boy. Oh,
Um. So you see this woman um take a shaky step forward, very quickly plant her staff into the ground, as she uses that as her sort of leaning post as she walks herself along. And she looks over at you and Alith and says, I, I'm, I, I'm almost certain that it was this way. Last I came. Must have fallen around here somewhere.
Alice looks to the direction that she was pointed to, and with like a little, um, okay, so you know how like soldiers like bring their hand up to their head, to like their forehead? Salute.
Yes.
There we go. Words.
That's you. All words.
All words. No comprehension. So she gives a bit of a salute to Elisabeth as she runs off within to the direction in which she was pointed to.
Um, you will hear a call of "Other way, girly" from above you. A little shadow kind of flick above you and then away.
She very quickly turns around, like, "Up, thank you."
I imagine this is like she runs off screen and then the Drake flaps off the shoulder and follows her. The Drake zooms off the other side of the screen and I follows.
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
Gosh, okay. Well, Elizabeth is going to steadily plod along behind. And this is where I have to make a few more rolls because hooray, it's rolling time. Well, it's
It's
a pretty
rolling
roll.
time.
Cool. I'm gonna stick with that nat 20 from survival earlier because I am not risking this. So
Go ahead.
Drake does seem to be trying to cut ahead of you, and it shouts down to you. My mistress may be addle-brained at the moment, but I remember the path. And it kind of just flits about 5 foot ahead of you, and above, and seems to be trying to lead you.
And Alith is doing everything in her power to keep up and follow.
It isn't actually going that
Or-
fast,
Or,
actually.
funky.
At first, it did kind of fly quite quickly to guide you back in the right direction, but for now it seems to be going pretty slowly, actually. It seems to be less flitting and flying and more like darting from tree to tree, using its claws to hook itself into the bark and jump from place to place, vine to vine.
Fair enough. Alice is still following behind as she's kind of like looking everywhere. She's looking at the jungle that's around her, the rainforest that's around her.
Oh, okay. If that's the case, would you like to roll me another perception then?
Yeah, I'll roll you a perception. Granted, if it doesn't fail me. 9. Baby.
Yeah, nah. Let me just roll a couple things here. That's that. Oh, okay. That's pretty decent. So where is perception modifier? I should play you more often. Okay, so that is just you're focusing pretty hard on trying to follow this Drake because it seems to be kind of, even if it isn't trying to lose you, it kind of doesn't seem to really like you looking at it when it catches you staring.
No, Alith would absolutely be like staring at it, and actually, I'm gonna quickly make a hammer space for her. No, baby! Okay, let me find like the Toonkind fumble sheet. Okay, baby.
Should be in the keyframes and links.
Yeah, I found it.
Yeah.
18. She tries to like reach in and pull out her little journal, but instead she pulls out a spyglass.
Oh, well, at least you can keep an eye on it.
Yeah, she kind of just like looks at it like, huh, this isn't what I reached in for. And she's just kind of like looking at the dragon through it.
You get a very close-up look at its teeth, which rear back and hiss at you.
Uh, actually, because you hissed at her, you hear her say, thank you. Yeah, very pretty teeth.
I mean, that it just very quickly snaps its mouth closed and glares at you.
She's
Um,
she's a very odd child.
of her. I love her immediately. Um, I'll say as you're faffing around and fooling around, you do hear like a huffing from behind you and a call of Alith, Alith, hang on, just a moment. Um,
Oh, yeah, yeah. She looks back.
and you see Elisabeth is leaning heavily against one of the trees and panting quite hard. She seems to be kind of squinting and looking around and blinking a little blearily. And this is where I have to roll her a couple of these. Okay.
Oh no.
Oh, I mean, okay, cool. Um, it's a little blearily. And her eyes widen, and even though her eyes are a bit glassy and her face is quite flushed, she looks over to you in a bit of a panic and says, Alith, do you have anything to do? And she reaches up one of her free hands and just slaps it on the side of her head.
Do I have anything? What? You kind of interrupted yourself.
Oh, Alith, do you have any? And she just kind of ups a hand around one of her ears and looks at you like, please understand what I'm saying.
Should I like? I want to roll an insight to see if she could like if she could just like wildly guess what it is.
You can roll insight or intelligence, whichever you want.
I'm gonna go with intelligence. She has a better chance with that.
Cool.
16.
Oh, you realise that one of her hands is kind of leaning against the tree, so she can't really use it at the minute. But the hand that she used to slap us, she isn't just slapping herself on the face. Her hand's actually kind of cupped, and it's cupped over her ear, and she's looking at you, and she's looking around, and she repeats the motion, and she covers her ear. You think, hang on, does she want you to like, cover your ears up, block your ears?
Alith is just a little bit confused as she just like brings her hands up to mimic the motion.
You get a very frantic nod from Elisabeth, whose face goes from red to slightly green as she does that, and just stops very suddenly.
Oh no.
Yeah. Let's roll one of these. Oh boy. Oh, well, okay. No, she's fine. She kind of leans over a little bit and braces herself, her head underneath her elbow, and takes a couple of deep breaths. Her breaths do sound a bit wheezy.
Oh no.
She does. Yeah, no, you've got the idea that she wants you to cover your ears.
Okay. Alith has her ears covered, but she is making sure that like her companion is okay.
Yeah, let me just do some things here. Oh dear, okay.
Oh no.
Let me just roll some things.
Oh no.
So that is cool.
Should I be scared by any chance?
Okay. Well, that is a yeah. So
I'm gonna choose to
cover
be
your
scared.
ears and you look at this woman. Because of your perception from earlier, you don't get enough time to see, or you don't get enough time to see this thing kind of jumps out of the bushes, and wraps a long gnarled claw around this woman's shoulder and like shoves her to the ground.
Oh no!
And how much damage is that? Let me just. Sorry if I take long to roll things. Rollbots and I don't get along very well.
No, that's fine.
Oh, yeah. So Elisabeth takes 5 damage, 5 slashing damage.
Oh no!
And her clothes all torn up. As out of the bushes comes a strange kind of hobbling creature with long gnarled arms and big. It looks like it's got a woman's face, but it's all twisted and crooked and wrong, and there's weird feathers and scales coming from odd places. Their eyes are like slits. Most of its hair is feathers, and there are like mangy bald points coming off of it. And the bottom half is kind of like bird legs, and there are 2 of what you suppose are supposed to be wings coming out of its back, but they're kind of dragging along the floor behind it as it shrieks. And its eyes are locked on Elisabeth.
Oh no!
Do you wanna roll initiative?
Oh no. Alith sees this strange creature leap out. It's looking at Elisabeth. She looks between Elisabeth and the creature before she exclaims, "Don't worry, old lady, I'm gonna save you!" I'm sorry. Yeah, I know she already knows her name, but she's panicked.
Fine. Fine.
I'm sorry. No, she's rushing in. I'm rolling initiative.
Oh. Is my.
And you know what? I am going to use one of my, never mind. Actually, no, I am going to do this. I'm going to use one of my superiority die to do ambush, which allows me to add my superiority die to my initiative roll.
Okay, go for it. And there's that. There's.
Oh, okay. I didn't even.
That's very good of you. Oh my god! What the hell is going on?
What?
Give me a second.
No,
I'll
I'm.
see in just a hot second. What the hell is going on?
Okay, I'm not even sure if I should use a superiority die at this point. I already got like a 20.
But I don't see there's much use.
Then I guess I'll save it.
This is the order. I got 2 nat 20s for the Drake and the Harpy.
Then in that case, I'll roll superiority.
Okay, go for it. Yeah, this Harpy is kind of hanging menacingly over the top of Elisabeth, who's been knocked prone because surprise ambush claw attack.
7! It's a 27 in initiative for
Okay, cool.
Allith.
Let's change that. Hey,
Or, what do you think?
it's up to you. Yeah, you can go first. You got a 27. If you want to keep the 27, then go for it.
I'm gonna go with 27 because honestly, the very first thing I wanted to do was that, like, Allith is just like, "Don't worry, I'm gonna save you!" And then she's just, like, running at this harpy, and you can hear her screaming as with, like, a really hard, like, upward motion, she smacks it with her cane. Because weirdly enough,
Okay.
this little child carries with her a cane.
Why not? Roll to hit.
17.
Yeah, that hits.
Awesome.
What's your damage? What's your damage, son?
Hey,
Is you,
would you like to hear a fun fact? She gets to hit twice.
Do it. Hit more, hit more, hit more, hit more.
So
Wacka wacka.
three damage first hit, and then she second time brings the cane down in a downward motion with a 9.
To hit.
Does
So
9 hit?
the first one hits, the second one doesn't.
Fair enough.
The first hit, you do smack this thing, probably like on the edge of its wing, where it kind of flinches away from where it was looming over above Elisabeth and hisses at you. And because it can kind of see you coming, it leans back out of the way of your second hit. So that is. Forgive me while I do maths.
You're good. You're good.
Reload.
Do what needs to be done.
So that is. I should have put my notes up on my phone, even though this wasn't supposed to have notes. There we go. Okay, yeah, cool. That's that done. But this thing leans back and hisses. Well, it hisses at you, but not the similar kind of draconic hissing. It's kind of like a like a parrot hiss. I don't know if you've heard of parrot hiss. Parrots can hiss, and they can be really mean about it.
Oh yeah, that is mean.
This thing hisses at you, and as it does so, it is going to be. Oh, okay, cool. You hit it.
Oh no.
Cool. So you hear a shriek, and the drake dives from above to claw at this harpy's face, which ducks out of the way, and kind of buffers it away with one of its crooked wings with a smack, as this creature, as the drake from before kind of dives down and screams obscenities, as it hisses and crashes into the bushes behind it, and it just manages to keep itself airborne. And okay, yeah, no, that missed. So now the harpy looks between you and the woman in the floor, and then you. Then it gives you a very harsh grin, and ching, flashes its talons at you, and it is going to try and hit you with its claws.
Yeah,
1, 2, so that is
I'm sorry.
14. So,
So, I'm being attacked, correct?
are being attacked, yes.
Okay. Sorry, somebody entered my room.
Okay, you're good. So that's a 14 and a 16 to hit. Either of those hit.
A 14 and a 16? Yeah, they do hit, sadly.
Okay. Cool, let's do this then. Got to put the R in. That would help, wouldn't it?
It really
There we
would.
go. Really would. Yeah, this thing lashes out at you with both its claws. Its first one gets you pretty good, but the second one probably just grazes your arm, and you just take 5 slashing damage in total with both of those hits. Kind of staggers a bit. We'll say, as this thing staggers after you, you do kind of squint and notice it already kind of looks pretty beat up. Like, its wings are kind of messed up. The bald patches on it seem to be less so mange and more so battle wounds. Like, this thing is, it's already been in a previous fight. The word.
Well, it's its fault for picking another.
Yeah, it really is, isn't it? Right, okay, so now it is, Oh, Elisabeth, what are you gonna do, my dude?
What you gonna do?
What am I gonna do? What you gonna do when she comes for you? What can she do? She's kind of prone right now, and she's kind of lying on the floor, and she can't do much. She really can't do much. Okay.
Oh no. I want her to be okay.
Ooh, okay. So what she's gonna do? She's still got a hold of her staff. From what she was leaning up against, and from her place on the floor, she's just gonna kind of reel it back and whack it towards this harpy's legs. Let's see. It's a decent. It's decent. Let's try it. Yeah, no, that hits. Hits this thing on the back of the legs. How much damage is that, my dude? How much damage is that, my dude?
How much damage is that?
How much damage is that, my dude? Okay. Full damage.
Oh
Okay.
no. It's okay.
Elisabeth doesn't like it when friendly people that are trying to help her out get attacked, and she certainly doesn't like it when someone jumps out and attacks her from nowhere. She is too old for this. So with prejudice, she swings with a vicious front hand into the back of this thing's legs, which kind of just topple out from underneath it. And now this thing is also on the ground.
Yes, good.
So this thing is now prone.
Good.
Let's see. Time you hit a creature with a weapon attack before the spell ends, a writing mass of thorny vines appears at the point of impact. That must have seen a strength saving throw will be destroyed and magical by the end of the spell. Don't think she can do anything else. Oh, I could have done that first. Oh well, I'll do that next turn. Cool, okay, that's fine. I'll do that next turn. But yeah, no, this harpy is on the ground, writhing and shrieking now. It's probably fallen on its wings back first, so it's not having a good time. It's shrieking mostly. Yeah, it's your turn.
Awesome possum. So, while this creature is on the floor, Allith is once again going to raise her cane. Actually, you know what? I want her to just kind of like try and hit it like one does a golf ball.
Yes. Please try and putt this harpy.
She will putt the harpy.
Putt the harpy, putt the harpy.
Putt the harpy. 18!
With an 18, you definitely putt the harpy.
Putt.
You just go up. I just imagine she just very quietly goes up. She pulls out a cap from somewhere, like a golfer's cap. Pulls out her cane, just carefully lines it up with the harpy still screeching on the floor. And then whack.
Big whack, as it does 4 damage.
Excellent. You whack the harpy for 4 damage, and
I have
the
a second
harpy
attack.
Oh yes, you do.
So this isn't over. This isn't quite over, Harpy.
We're not done yet, Birdbrain.
6. Man.
Okay. So you do a toad. Oh, what to hit?
Oh, a 6?
Yeah. That's a
Oh!
roll to hit.
Yeah, this was a roll to hit.
No, that doesn't hit. So
Okay.
you hit it the first time, no issue. You kind of get overzealous and you try to hit it the second time, and you just kind of spray dirt in its face, which makes it angrier.
Dang it!
And Elisabeth. Yeah, go ahead.
No. She was going to try and make, like, a little joke, like, I can't believe this! I come from the family that invents golf and I can't even hit it!
You are the black sheep. I'm so sorry, dear. Actually, I'm gonna skip that. Yeah, no, I'm gonna skip that one, and then, the harpy is going to kind of struggle onto its knees, which creak and crack a bit, and it looks up at you and glares viciously. Then it kind of
Alice sticks
turns
her
back
tongue out.
towards. Cool. It pulls one of its legs back and then pulls one of its claws back, and it lashes out at you, and it also lashes out at Elisabeth. I know technically you're not allowed to attack two different creatures in one turn, but for the sake of this, it's an FPS, I'm bending the rules.
Dang.
Okay, cool. Oh my god.
Oh no!
What's your... Hey, does a 10 hit you?
No.
Cool. You see this creature lash out at you, fruitlessly and miss, and then you see its back leg lash out, seemingly trying to hit Elisabeth in the face, and just flail and miss wildly.
Oh no. I did want to say
It's just-
that Alith does have a thing called riposte. I'm going to mispronounce it.
Fun.
And in which, when a creature misses you with a melee attack, you can use your reaction, expend one superiority die to make a melee attack against it. So, as you try and attack Alith, she just kind of brings her cane back and she's going to smack you like, no, bad harpy.
Like on the wrist? Are you going to hit
Let-
the harpy?
Let's go. I was going to give it like a bug on the head, but I think it would be really funny if she just like hit the harpy on the wrist, like, no, bad harpy. You can't do that. 13.
No more cookies for you. Yeah, that hits. This harpy on the wrist, and it yoinks it back and goes. Screeches inherently. Roll your damage.
If you hit, you add a superiority die to the attack's damage roll.
Jesus. This stuck is wailing on this harpy. There was an old woman and a harpy rolling on the floor and a young child beating up one of them. Who knows where the drake's gone?
The drake's just watching the chaos unfold. And then I have to add the die to that because I don't know how to add dice.
Oh, man. Look at that, just
And then 6 damage.
6 damage. Okay, cool. This one. I hate doing maths. Why do I suck at maths? It's not.
No. Rolled low on it.
It's, okay.
Rolled low
Cool.
on math.
Me, no math brain. Yeah, no, you smack her on this wrist, and it yanks it back with a screech, and it grabs its wrist with this other hand and kind of turns it over. It stopped flailing on the floor, and it's just kind of turning its wrist over and glaring at you, and then looking at its wrist and glaring at you now.
And
And-
Alith just kind of glares at it like, bad dragon, bad harpy. I'm sorry. I forgot who we were fighting.
It's fine. You're absolutely fine, my dude. Sometimes heat of the moment, it just happens like that. Oh, fun. Okay, cool. This depends on whether you hit.
Oh
It's
no.
going to... Elisabeth sighs from a place on the floor and kind of coughs a little and says, I think I'm far too old for this nonsense. I've had enough. And she lifts up her staff again and brings it down. Oh, yeah, no, that... Actually, no, I need to roll. Doesn't matter, it's the same thing.
Oh no.
That is a 24 to hit either way. As she brings down her staff with a crack on the harpy's stomach, which lets out a as it's hit.
Yes. Yes. Go wild.
Grandma angry. Grandma smacker.
Go get him, Grandma.
Grandma snacker. Grandma attacker.
Go ballistic.
Cool. So she brings it back down and does a whole 8 damage on this harpy, whose air is knocked out of them. But you'll notice as she does this, there seems to be a strange little spot on the harpy where she hit it. And give me just a second while I work out some maths. Here we go. Where are we? Where are we? I'm going to need to roll some more things. Oh, fun! Yes, that's where we are. Right, what is your... Oh! Okay, it's not that good. Let's go. Well, I'll say it's not that good, but still, that's pretty decent. Damn.
Oh no!
Yeah. So from this spot, you see what seem to be vines, or at least like a seed pops out, and vines seem to creep out of this seed and try to lash themselves around the harpy. But the harpy very quickly looks down at this, reaches down with both of their claws and tears them apart, and even bends down with their beak and just starts to shred at these things, while shrieking again very angrily.
No!
Hissing very nastily in Elisabeth's direction, who kind of huffs and says, "Yes, well, you're no Sunday pleasant driver either, are you?" Turning the glare. And I think it's back to you. In order. Yeah, no, it's back to you.
It's back to me. Aww.
To you.
Okay.
And also, this harpy looks pretty exhausted.
Okay. So. I'm gonna go with the tried and true method of just hitting the harpy with the cane. While it's distracted by Elisabeth.
I feel like as you're doing this, this brings back up. I don't know if Alith will have ever seen this before, but it's like watching two elderly women having a nice chat, which isn't a nice chat. It is very much just social digs at each other, like, "Oh, my grandson's been doing this. Oh, well, my grandson's been doing this." Except it's an harpy and the old woman on the floor. Yeah, anyway, please continue doing what you're doing.
Towards that, I want there to be like a moment where there's just like a shot of Allith looking at the harpy and then looking back at Elisabeth as they're both bickering with each other, and she just like lets this go on for like a minute before she's like, "Okay, this has gone on long enough." She brings the cane up with a 19, smacks the harpy on the head.
Cool. Let me just... You know what?
This child is going ballistic! Jesus.
You bonk this harpy on the head. You don't have to roll damage if you don't want to.
I already did. 5 damage.
It's okay. Yeah, now, you bonk this harpy on the head, and you see it kind of doesn't do anything for a second. It turns its head towards you and glares, reaches out a hand, and then you see its eyes slowly start to cross, and then a huge, like, goose egg bump starts to pop up on its head. Then you hear... And you see tiny little dragons start to fly around its head as it slowly tilts itself from side to side, flops back onto the floor. Congratulations.
Oh, perfect!
Harpy dead. Harpy dead. Harpy gone.
Harpy gone.
Well, it's not dead because this is Toonkind. Nothing. No death here. It is, however, very much unconscious and beat up.
Heck yeah! And then Allith just kind of like raises both her hands into the air, looks towards Elisabeth, and just like rushes over like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?"
I'll be fine, dear. This isn't the worst roughing up I've ever had. It's nothing compared to the pirates up north.
Pirates up north?
Oh yes, that was a whole adventure in of itself. I tell you what, if and she just starts to cough and hack quite heavily as she continues. I'll tell you once we've gotten where we're going. She gives you a very wan kind of smile, and her complexion is a bit pastier. It was.
Allith just like absolutely has stars in her eyes. Like, yeah. I can help you. I can absolutely help you. As she's just like trying to help Elisabeth. Yes, I can comprehend.
I pat you. I have no doubt of that.
dear. You've shown yourself to be a very competent adventurer indeed.
This is where I roll one of these. Cool. Okay, cool. She does once again reach for she's got her staff in her hands and she tries to put all her weight on that and she wobbles quite a bit as she gets up. She has to use both hands and catch herself suddenly as she huffs and heaves and leans on this staff as she straightens up and then kind of looks around and says,
Now, I don't suppose you know where that blasted Drake's gotten off to.
Alice kind of looks around, and she's going to try and find the Drake.
Go for it.
So would that be an investigation as she's actively searching for it, or?
It's up to you. Perception or investigation is fine. If you're
I'll go with
actively looking for-
investigation. 17.
Okay, I thought it was a 5, then I was like, no. Yeah, no, 17. You kind of look around, you don't see anything, but you do hear the sound of, like, rushing wind and whistling noise, and you can kind of hear the sound of, like, something almost rhythmically being, like rustling in the bushes. Or it's high up. It's not the bushes, because it's a little higher, but you hear something rustling a little higher up in the trees, like a little way off.
Well, I'm gonna look up and see what the heck's happening up there.
Like a little bit into like a couple trees down, around a couple oaks, through a couple vine loops, and underneath what looks to be a big nest of some sort. There is the drake clinging to the bottom of a branch and trying to tug a strap attached to looks like a satchel strap that's dangling from the branch. You hear like muffled hissing, what you imagine is probably curses in Draconic, as it's trying to tug this thing down.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh bother, I keep forgetting, I'm sorry. What is it pulling?
A satchel, like a bag.
A satchel.
Satchel
Oh,
bag.
yes! You found it! And Alith is going to instantly, like, run on over to try and, like, help.
It is about 50 foot off the ground. Like, it's high up.
I'm not stuttering, she will climb the tree.
Let me roll
She
something
will-
before you
she
do
will-
that, please.
She will drop her bag, and she will climb that tree.
It's up to you. You can do that if you want. Do you want to climb the tree? Do you want to climb the tree? Do you want to roll? Do you want to roll to climb?
I will roll to climb.
To climb. Athletics or acrobatics, however she wants to go up.
Athletics. Because if she does acrobatics,
Yes.
she will not make it. Baby, sweetheart, 17.
Nice. Yeah, no. I think that fight with the harpy has really invigorated you, and you probably just you either dig your fingers like into the tree and scurry up like a squirrel.
That would be terrifying considering she's a duck.
The drake is busy trying to tug this thing off with like its teeth and its wings, and it looks down and it sees this weird scuttling thing crawling up the tree, and it takes a double take like, what the fuck is that? What is that thing?
I
And
really
its
would.
wings kind of
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that visual image of just like her scurrying up.
Yeah, as she scurries up, she sees this thing mantle its wings above it, and it drops the satchel from where it was tugging it on the end of the twig, the branch, and it just kind of steps back a couple steps, blinks, lowers its frill and its wings, tucks itself primly around itself, looks away, and is like,
Well, it's about time. You finally dealt with the thief.
The thief? Well, yeah, the harpy's gone.
Yes. That creature is the one that stole from my idiot mistress.
Okay, let's start by being nice. Okay?
Well, then, What we should start with is getting this down.
Okay,
Um,
we'll get it down, but you gotta promise to be nice, okay?
I don't have to make any promises to you.
And actually, towards this, I want to make a intimidation.
Oh my god, go for it.
We're gonna see how terrifying this little duck girl is. Dirty 20.
I was gonna say roll with advantage, but yeah, no, dirty 20. I'm just gonna roll a whiz save to see can you beat this? Your proficiency bonus. Give me a hot sec because I need to check what its proficiency bonus is because it
Okay,
shares it.
I need like a
with-
quick second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, do what you gotta do. Hello, audience. It is me. This has been very fun. Phoebe is very good.
Back.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, it is Phoebe.
Yeah.
So that was the 16, the whiz save. It's probably the same thing you did earlier, and maybe it's just the way you position yourself, kind of, maybe almost predatorily. Drake's frills kind of flatten down very slowly. It looks away. It says,
I suppose I can make an exception. Just this once. Mistress is in poor health.
Good. And with that, she will try and like grab the satchel and slide down the tree.
okay, if you're trying to grab the
Or-
satchel, roll me a sleight of hand.
Okay, I will roll you a sleight of hand.
Because as she looks over this thing, she realizes this thing is stuck because it's caught in a really awkward place. Like the harpy placed it so that it wouldn't fall off. Like there's a couple of twig parts of this branch that are keeping it from being easily tugged away.
19.
And that's not a problem for you though, because you are obviously half squirrel, and you are used to taking things from places they should have no right being. Yeah, very easily pick up this bag, which is slightly, it's quite light, lighter than what you would assume someone would travel with. Actually, no, you're a freaking toon. You wouldn't know what's light and what's heavy. You have a hammer space. You just pick up the satchel, easy as anything.
I mean, she still
You
carries
just-
around with her a bag,
Yeah. It's
but
fine.
still.
Yeah, no, you get it down very easily. The dragon kind of humps at you as you scroll back down. Elisabeth is leaning with her forehead pointing towards the floor, both hands gripping around the top of the staff and just kind of leaning in, taking some deep breaths.
Okay. So Alith is going to slide down and she's going to run to Elisabeth with the satchel like, I got it! I got it!
Elisabeth looks up. She gives Alith a little smile. So you have, my dear. Very good job, Alith. And she reaches out a shaky hand and just pats you on the head, and holds out the same hand, which Alith can see is very clearly trembling, for the satchel.
Alith is going to put the satchel in her hand. Indeed.
Cool. Yeah, she lifts it up and kind of awkwardly slides it around her shoulder. She lists a little bit to the side as it settles before setting herself. Takes a deep breath, looks up at the Drake, and calls out Draconic. Well, I hope that instead of trying to take me the proper Draconic path, this time you actually take me untransferable by human Toonkind feet. She taps her foot twice on the ground, and Alith will hear the Drake sniff and grumble,
Yes, mistress.
before flapping its wings, circling you both, then taking off again.
Dang.
Yeah. But Elisabeth will look down at you, Alith, look back up to where the Drake has flown off, and say, I don't suppose I could trouble you
to be my eyes and guide to keep an eye on that one. We make our way. Would that be too much trouble for you, dear?
Absolutely not.
Lady smiles, holds out a hand for you to take.
Oh, yes, Alith absolutely takes it.
Yeah, you take her hand, and how many real kind have you met before?
That's a really good question. How many real kind has she met? Towards that, I'm going to quickly
You don't-
make an intelligence roll to see how familiar she is with real kind.
It's fair.
6. She has very few experiences.
She's read them. She's read about them in a comic book once.
Oh
She's pretty sure she's an expert. So yeah, you don't notice anything wrong as you take this woman's hands. There's nothing wrong with her hand being perhaps a tad cooler than your own body temperature, and you're pretty sure like real kinds are like weird, and they sweat a little different, right? Maybe it's just kind of their hands are a little soggy and weird, but it's probably like an elderly real kind thing, right? It's probably fine. If it isn't, it's okay. You'll get them back. You'll get them back to where they're going. It's all good.
It's fine.
It's fine. This is fine. Let me just quickly type this into the chat.
Oh no!
As you unless you've got anything else you wanted to do, VB, I feel like this is a pretty good place to end it.
Yeah, I'm gonna ever so quickly make one last hammer space fumble. I'm gonna not another hammer space fumble, but I'm gonna make another hammer space in which I ask, does it increase because last time she fumbled, or
No, so it's per instance.
right? Okay, so I'm gonna roll 8. This time you see her pull out a little book, and it's pink. It's covered in glitter. And it's absolutely an eyesore. And she pulls it out. She's flipping through the pages. She looks up at the Drake. And she flips through more of the pages. And she's kind of asking Elisabeth, what kind of dragon is that? I've never seen one like that.
Does she look back at Elisabeth at all?
Yeah,
She
she's
looks
looking.
up at
She's looking back at Elisabeth.
She will see Elizabeth looking down at her, very fond expression on her face. She looks down at her and then at her book. What? Can she tell what's in her book from this angle?
Yeah, I'm gonna say so because Allith isn't really hiding it. It's okay. The pink glittery cover is very deceiving to what the book is because inside of it, it's an entire journal, and you can find like little dragon doodles everywhere with little notes written next to them of her marking any specific traits about them, and she's found the one that looks the closest to the Drake, and she wants to confirm that this is the same dragon or if it's a different dragon species.
If you look back at Elizabeth, her face has, not only is it very fond, her eyes, which were kind of almost kind of glassy and watery, kind of light up a bit as they look at this. She just, oh, you are. You remind me of myself when I was your age with all this. Well, I would say a little bit of yes and a little bit of no. Well, we can talk about it on the way. Actually, I might even show you the journal I've got. And she reaches into her satchel, pulls out a journal that is a lot darker, a lot more roughed up, a lot more scratched up. Not as scratched up as you think, but it seems to be covered in like weird scaled patterns. and she'll flip the book open, and hold it so that Alith can view it as they're walking along. I feel like they will slowly make their way from the rainforest, making their way, following the drake, at a doddering pace, until they get to EGAD. I am gonna
Yes.
do one last roll, unless there is anything else you want to do.
No, there's nothing else I want to add to this. Just Alith being absolutely ecstatic at this.
Excellent. Okay. Could you roll me one last survival? With advantage.
Let's see. Has Edith made her mini arc and figured out her south from her west?
Oh, sweetie. Even at disadvantage, I've somehow got an. Oh. Oh.
No.
She gets distracted and almost wanders off into a bush before someone calls her back, or the drake has to swoop down and herd her back onto the path. Gosh, but yeah, I'd say we get there eventually. It probably takes a little longer because Alith wants to wander off or do whatever Alith does.
She's not trying to.
It's fine. She's a kid, man.
She's a
Kids
little
wander
kid.
off. She's a little kid. She's living her life and having the best of times.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, this was great. I think we can close the screen on that.
Mm-hmm.
They're walking through this awful place for this real kind woman to be in. But she'll get to EGAD eventually. Now, she's making her way. She's gonna get somewhere safe. Hooray!
Hooray.
Ray, thank you so much for playing with me, VB. I hold Alith so softly.
Oh, absolutely. It's been a delight to be able to use her, finally.
Point at her. I point at this dragon-obsessed child. Elisabeth is picking her up. She's putting her in a... She doesn't have a hammer space, but my god, she will try.
You could you could just keep her in your pocket.
Pocket-sized duck. This is great. Thank you so much for playing, man. And for anyone that listens to this in the future, thank you for listening in. I hope you've enjoyed this Elisabeth Gets Lost and Found saga. And I'd like to thank VB for playing with me because they are a super cool, awesome bear, and I am very happy to play with them once again. But yes, actually, I'm gonna stop the video now.
Alrighty.
Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
And bye.
Stay safe.